And that for this week is rebirth. Since we missed the last week, I'll have to make up for the missing. So today's talk will be on karma, probably a little on rebirth. We live in a world of inequalities. Although people are saying about equal privilege, equal status, yet there are inequalities everywhere. We see people who live only a short time and others who live long. Those who are rich and others who are poor. Those who are relatively free from illness or disease, and those who are always in illness, and so on. And also there are good people who suffer, and we are indignant when we see good people suffer. And sometimes we are also indignant to see bad people get good things. You may have some friends or childhood friends who always get better things, who always get whatever is good. And we want to know why this inequality is in the world. Why are people different from one another? And I think every religion has an answer to this question. And the answer of Buddhism, or the answer given by the Buddha, is karma. It is because of karma that people are different. And karma is an important teaching in Buddhism. Generally, karma is now well known in the West. Many people are using the word karma. And this word comes from Sanskrit and Pali. When it is spelled K-A-R-M-A, it is Sanskrit. And you pronounce karma, not karma, because in Sanskrit the R must be pronounced. And if it is Pali, the spelling is K-A-M-M-A, because Pali tends to simplify the conjunct consonants in Sanskrit. So one R is changed to M, and it becomes K-A-M-M-A, kamma. Now what is karma? The basic meaning of karma is action, doing. But here we should understand in its technical sense of volition. When we do something, good or bad, we do with volition, with will. And that volition, which is concomitant with the action, which goes together with the action, is what we must understand as karma. Buddha also said, volition, O monks, I call karma. Having willed, beings do deeds by body, by speech, or by mind. So whatever action we do, bodily action, or verbal action, or mental action, we have this volition present in our mind. And this volition is what is called karma here. And it has another name, that is Cetana, C-E-T-A-N-A. And in the doctrine of dependent origination, it is called sankhara, mental formation, or volitional formations. And this karma, or this volition, is important because it is this karma which creates different existences, which creates rebirth. And this karma is one of the mental factors. Cetana is one of the mental factors. Although it is the same as other mental factors, yet it is different from other mental factors because it has the potentiality to give results. It is like a seed. A mango seed has a potential to grow into a mango tree and then give mango fruits as results. In the same way, this mental volition or will has a potential to give results. And as one of the mental factors, it just comes into being and disappears. When it disappears, it leaves this potential in the continuity of being. And this is this potential that gives results in the same life or in the future life, whenever circumstances are favorable for the good karma or the bad karma to give results. And this karma is not fate or predestination or determinism, because not everything that we experience, everything that is in us is due to karma. If it is determinism or predestination, there would be no room for progress. There would be no room for getting free from the mental defilements and getting free from the round of rebirth. And whenever we talk about karma, we mean only the cause and not its result. There are some people who misunderstand karma and say that karma means the action as well as the reaction, a cause as well as the effect. But karma in Pali literature, Pali books, never mean the result. It means always the cause, the seed. In popular language, we may use karma to denote the result of karma. When you meet something bad, when you have something bad happen to you, you say, oh, it is my bad karma. Or when you get something you want, when you are lucky, you say, it is my good karma. Actually, what you mean is, it is the result of my bad karma, or it is the result of my good karma. So when writing seriously, we do not use karma to denote the result of karma. Although in speaking, we may use karma to denote the result of karma. So here, what we mean by karma is the cause and not the effect. And this karma and its effect is a law in itself. It is a universal and natural law. Action begets reaction. So when there is reaction, there is action. When there is a result, there is cause. And so this cause and effect relation goes on and on and on, and this we call the law of karma. And this doctrine of karma was in existence before the Buddha appeared in the world. There is this karma in Hinduism, but Buddha refined it, Buddha polished it, and brought it to a higher level. And in Buddhism, doctrine of karma is taught without the permanent soul, without any being who creates the world with all its animate and inanimate things. Although it is a law, Buddhism teaches that it does not need a lawgiver. It is a natural law. And so it is not under command of any being. It operates independently from the command or from the desire of any being. And this karma is caused by, or the cause of the karma is not seeing things as they are and being attached to things or being attached to it. So ignorance and attachment are the two causes of karma. So long as we have the ignorance and attachment, we will be doing or we will be accumulating karma. Now, when do we accumulate karma? When do we get karma? When we do something good or something bad. But those beings who have not yet eradicated the ignorance and craving or attachment acquire karma. Arahats who have eradicated the roots of evil, the ignorance and craving, do not acquire karma at all, although they may do good things. An Arahat may preach to the people or may pay respect to the Buddha, and we teach his students, but he does not acquire karma because he has cut off the roots of ignorance and craving. So the ignorance and craving are the two causes of karma. So long as these are present in us, we may be acquiring karma whenever we do something good or something bad. And in the Theravada teaching, it is taught that although there is karma, there is no doer of the karma. There is only the karma itself, and no doer of it, no person that does the karma. Because what we call karma is the volition or cetana, and that cetana arises in our minds when we do something good or bad, and then it disappears. And that cetana is called karma. And there is no person who does the karma. Because what we call the person is just the combination of mind and body, just the combination of 5 aggregates. So no doer of karma is found, no one who ever reaps their results. Since there is no doer of the karma, there is no person who reaps the results of the karma. Empty phenomena roll on. So just the phenomena of mind and body go on and on and on. This is the correct teaching, or this is the correct view with regard to karma. So is there a doer of karma? We say there is no doer of karma. Just the 5 aggregates, just mind and body. Now, this karma has the potential to give results. Where is this karma stored? It must be stored somewhere. Once King Milinda asked this question to the Venerable Nagasena, where is this karma stored? Since people are reborn as a result of karma, people get good or bad things in this life as a result of karma. And Venerable Nagasena answered, karma is not stored somewhere in this fleeting consciousness or in any other part of the body. It cannot be said that karma is stored in the mind, because mind itself is always changing, always disappearing, coming into being and disappearing. And karma cannot be stored in our bodies, in our physical bodies, because physical body is also changing all the time. So karma is not stored somewhere, not stored anywhere at all. But it is difficult to perceive, difficult to think that a thing that exists nowhere could give results. But depending upon mind and matter, it rests. On our bodies, on our mind, it depends, because it arises with consciousness and other mental factors, and they must have a physical base to arise. So depending on mind and matter, it arises or it rests, manifesting itself at the opportune moment, manifesting itself as results at the moments that are appropriate for it to give results. And Venerable Nagasena gave a simile. Just as mangoes are not said to be stored somewhere in the mango tree, so we cannot say that mangoes are stored in the trunk or in the roots or in the branches. We cannot say where mangoes are stored. But dependent on the mango tree, they lie, springing up in due season. So when it is season, when it gets water and heat and so on, then the fruits come up. So we cannot say that fruits are stored in the trunk or in the branches or in the roots, but it has potential to give fruits when the season is ripe, when it gets nutriment from the earth and from water, from air. In the same way, we cannot say that karma is stored in our consciousness or in our physical body, but depending on the mind and body or mind and matter, it arises, and at the opportune time, it gives results. So when we get the results, we can infer that, oh, this is the result of our good karma, or this is the result of our bad karma. So Kamma, although it is not stored anywhere in the existent form, it has some kind of potential, and that potential is always with us through these long series of rebirths, series of existence. Now, is everything due to Kamma? If everything is due to Kamma, we fall into what we call fatalism or determinism. And not everything is due to Kamma. Not everything we do, not everything we give response to the situation. Kamma presents us with some situation, either good or bad situation, and we come into contact with these situations. We accept these situations, and then we respond to these situations. The acceptance of situations is the effect of Kamma. The Kamma make us meet such situations, and that we cannot avoid. But we can have different responses to the same situation, either good or bad. Although the situation is bad, we can respond with wholesome consciousness. Although the situation is good, we can respond to it with bad or unwholesome consciousness. So, to respond to the situation is our choice. It is not predestined that we must respond to a situation in this way or in that way. We are free to have wholesome consciousness, wholesome thoughts, or unwholesome thoughts, depending on our understanding, depending on our training, depending on our attitude towards different things. So not everything is due to Kamma. When you see something bad, there is a thought process running in your mind. And in that thought process, there are different movements of consciousness. And some movements of consciousness are the result of Kamma, and some other movements are not the result of Kamma. So when you see something good or something bad, there is the result of Kamma as well as, let us say, the fresh Kamma. At the moment of what we call impulsion, at the moment of response to the situation, we perform or we acquire fresh Kamma. Say, an undesirable object is presented to us, and we react to this undesirable object with, let us say, wholesome consciousness. We have right attitude toward things, and so we have wholesome consciousness as a reaction to that object. So first we accept that object as the result of the Kamma in the past, and then at the responding moment, at the moment of response, we acquire fresh Kamma, good or bad, depending on our understanding, on our attitude towards things, and not depending on the quality of the object. So we acquire fresh Kamma every time we respond to the situation, every time we do good or bad things, every time we say good or bad things, every time we think good or bad thoughts. So not everything in this life is due. We are creating fresh Kamma in this life. We are the result of what we were in the past, what we did in the past, good or bad. Say, because we have done good Kamma, we are reborn as a human beings in this life. And in this life, we are creating or we are acquiring fresh Kamma, which will enable us to be reborn in future lives or future existence. And we will be reborn according to our good or bad Kamma we do here. So, this doctrine of Kamma teaches us to be self-reliant, teaches us the individual responsibility. We are responsible for ourselves. Nobody is responsible. Whether we are rich or poor in this life, whether we live short or we live long, depends on what Kamma we have done in the past. And so we are the result of what we did in the past. We alone are responsible for ourselves. And we have to rely on ourselves to make our future lives good or bad. We are the architect of our future lives. We can make them into good ones, or we can make them into bad ones. So the doctrine of karma teaches us the individual responsibility. That means our karma will affect us. We will reap the results of our karma. And so we will not reap the results of the karma of other persons. So other persons cannot give us the results of karma. We have to acquire karma so that we get the results. And we have to rely on ourselves, not on other persons. It is like one person eating and the other person, being satiated. So if you don't eat, you cannot get rid of hunger. And this doctrine of karma explains the inequality of being. Some people are born rich, some poor, some ugly, some beautiful, and so on, because of this karma. During the time of the Buddha, there was a millionaire called Todeya. He was a multi-millionaire. But he did not give anything to anybody. And his, philosophy, or his opinion was that if you give something, you lose that thing. So don't give anything to anybody if you want to keep the thing with you, if you want to keep the wealth with you. And so he did not give anything to anybody, and also he told other people not to give. So when he died, with great attachment to his own wealth, he was reborn as a dog at his house. And one day, Buddha went to the house. He had a son, and that son adopted that dog, and he was very fond of that dog, and so he gave the dog a good place to sleep and good food, as in this country. Dogs are very, very well treated in this country. So Buddha one day went to the house, and when he saw the Buddha, he barked at Buddha. So the Buddha looked at him and said, "Oh Todeya, you are not respectful to me when you are a human being. Now you are going to the greatest hell because you are barking at me." So when the Buddha told this, the dog knew, its karma knows me. And so he was depressed. And instead of going to his bed, he went to a heap of ashes and slept on that. So his son came back from his business and saw this and asked the people what was the case. And when he was told, he was very upset. According to the teachings of their creed, he said, according to our religion, let us say, my father must have been reborn as a Brahma. But Gautama said, my father was reborn a dog. Gautama said, whatever comes to his mouth. So I will go to him and confront it with this and defeat him. So he went to the Buddha, asked the Buddha whether he said that the Brahmin Todeya was reborn as a dog. And Buddha said, yes. So how did you know that? And the Buddha said, now, is there anything that your father did not disclose before he died? And he said, yes. There were property, something in kind. It's 300,000, let us say dollars. They were not dollars. So $300,000 worth of property and 100,000 in cash. And that we could not find anywhere. That was missing. So Buddha told him to feed the dog good food. And after eating, when the dog was about to fall asleep, just ask him. He will tell you where he had hidden the treasure. So Todeya's son, his name was Suba. Suba thought, it's a good idea. So I'll do that. And if I do not get any treasure, then I can accuse Gautama of telling lies. And if the Gautama's words are true, I will get riches. I will get the wealth. So he went back and feed the dog, and when the dog was about to go to sleep, he asked. And the dog took him to the place where the treasure was hidden. And so he got the treasure. So Suba was convinced of the Buddha's omniscience, and he was amazed at the Buddha that even Buddha could see through the thing hidden by his rebirth, hidden by a different existence. So he went to the Buddha after some time and asked the Buddha questions. He said there were human beings in the world, and as human beings they should be equal. But there were those who live very short lives and those who live long. There were those who were always ill, and others who are always healthy. There are some people who has not taken any medicine at all in their life. There are other people who have to take medicine all the time. And there are people who are ugly and who are beautiful, and so there are some other people who have good friends around them, and those who have no friends at all, and those who are rich, who are poor and who are rich, and those who are born in the low families and who are born in the high families, and also those who are weak in wisdom and those who are strong in wisdom. And so why are there people who live long and who live short and so on? Then the Buddha said, "Oh, Subha, beings have karma as their own. They are the heirs of their karma. The karma is their cause. Karma is their kinsman. Karma is their refuge. And the karma divides beings into lowly and excellent. Whatever karma beings do, whether good or bad, they will reap the results of karma." So when Buddha gave this answer, Subha said, "Revered Gautama, I do not understand fully your answer, so please elaborate." And so Buddha said, those beings who kill other beings are reborn in hell, and when they are reborn as a human beings, they live very short lives. And those who do not kill or who refrain from killing beings have a long life. And those who are cruel to other persons, other beings, who inflict injury to other persons, tend to be unhealthy in this life. And those who are kind to the people, who are kind to the beings, tend to be healthy. And those who are always angry, who get angry easily, tend to be ugly. And those who have metta, who have loving kindness, tend to be beautiful. It is obvious. Look at yourself when you are angry. You look ugly then. So anger makes you ugly even in this life. And so as a result of this anger, wherever you are reborn, you will be ugly, like that. And the opposite, the opposite of anger is loving kindness. So when you have loving kindness, you're smiling, your expression of the face is pleasing to other people, and so you'll be reborn as a beautiful person. And those who are jealous tend to be with very few friends, or tend to be with no friends at all. And those who are not jealous tend to have many friends. And those who do not give at all tend to be reborn as poor persons. And those who are generous are reborn as rich persons. And those who are proud, so proud that they could not give due respect to the elders, to the teachers, to the parents, and so on, will be reborn in the low families. And those who pay respect to the people, to due respect to the elders and so on, will be reborn in higher families. Even nowadays, there is some kind of class distinction. Although we try to have no class distinctions at all, all men are equal under the law, but still there is some kind of status, low-born or high-born and so on. And those who do not ask questions tend to be dull-witted, and those who ask questions tend to be strong in wisdom. So Buddha explained these things to Suba, and he was very pleased with the explanation given by the Buddha. So, whatever we are in this life is the result of what we did in the past. According to this karma, we enjoy or we suffer. And so when good people suffer, we can infer that although they are good in this life, they might have done bad karma in the past, and they are now getting the results of that bad karma in this life. And when wicked people are prosperous or wicked people get good things, we can think in the same way. Although they are wicked in this life, although they do not deserve to have good things in this life, what they did in the past has given them this privilege. They might have done good things or kusala karma, wholesome deeds in the past, and they are reaping the result of it. So, this doctrine of karma explains the inequality in beings, not only in human beings, in all the beings, and it can give us consolation, hope. Although we are poor or we are ugly in this life, we can make our future lives better by acting better, by acquiring wholesome or good karma in this life. And when we accept the doctrine of karma, we also accept the doctrine of rebirth, because karma and rebirth are two sides of one thing. What do you call that? Two faces of one coin. Because sometimes we cannot explain if we do not have recourse to the doctrine of karma. There are people, some people of genius. For example, the Buddha. His profound wisdom and his infinite compassion and other good qualities could not have been produced and matured in one life only. It will need many lifetimes to get to this state of greatness. And there are people, even in these days, who knew 2, 3, 4 languages when they were young, and they were just babies, and who can perform very intricate music, and the geniuses like Edison, Einstein. So their greatness of wisdom cannot be explained just by saying, oh, this heredity, something like that. Because although heredity plays a part in their being geniuses, the greater part should go to the karma, what they did in the past. So we need many lifetimes to mature into the noble person. And so there must be a past life or past lives in which we can gain more and more perfection. And if we accept the present life, we must also accept the past life and also the future life. If we accept this day, then we accept yesterday, and we will accept also tomorrow. Because they are just the convention of the people that they are called yesterday, today, and tomorrow. They are just the component parts of one series. In the same way, we have different thought moments through this life. And if we have different thought moments in this life, and if we acquire karma in this life, this series of thought moments will continue, and rebirth is just another moment after the death in this life. There is no time or no space intervening between this life and next life. Just another moment is the next life. It is like, say, the midnight of January the 31st. A minute after midnight, we call that time a new day, a new month, a new year. But it is actually one moment after midnight. But we call it a new day or new month or new year. It is the designation of the people. It is the convention of the people to call this a new day, a new month, a new year. Actually, it is just one moment after the other moment. So in the same way, when death comes, death is one moment, and immediately after death there is rebirth. So it is just one moment after death that is rebirth. And we believe that there have been many rebirths, many births in the past, and we will have many births in the future, so long as we cannot eradicate the ignorance and craving completely from us. So long as we have these mental defilements with us, we will be reborn again and again. And we believe in this rebirth without a permanent unchanging soul. Buddhism accepts the doctrine of karma and doctrine of rebirth without a permanent soul, without a thing, without enduring everlasting entity. According to teachings of Buddhism, there is nothing we can call a permanent soul or everlasting entity. Everything is changing every moment. So you are not the same at two moments. But we have an explanation of this as the person, let us say the person who is reborn in the other birth, rebirth, is not the same person. Neither is he a totally different person. We have a formula in Pali, nacha so, nacha anyo. Neither he nor the other. So a person who is reborn in another life is not the same person as in this life. And that person reborn is not totally different from the person who died here. They have a connection as cause and effect. It is like if I ask you, are you the same person as you were, say, 20 years ago? The same person or a different person? Neither the same nor a different person. If you are the same, then you must be 20 years younger now. And if you're a totally different person, it cannot be. The personal traits and your way of thinking, all these things are carried to the present day. So you cannot say that you were the same person as you were 20 years ago, and you cannot say you are a totally different person. So in the same way, a person who is reborn in another world is not identical person, not this person, not the same as this person. And he is not totally different, totally new person, because he has the connection as cause effect with the past person. So in this way we explain the rebirth without a permanent, everlasting soul. And we have similes. When you make a seal, you stamp the seal. The impression that is on the paper is not the seal itself. You cannot say that the impression on the seal is the seal itself. But that impression cannot come about without the rubber seal. Neither the one nor the other. And then when you light a candle from another candle, the light you get is not the identical light of the first candle, nor it is totally new light. So in this way we explain the rebirth, the doctrine of rebirth, without the unchanging permanent soul. So in this way, one is reborn from one existence to another. And that means the different mental and physical phenomena, although they are changing at every moment, there is some sort of continuity running through this series of life. So we cannot say that I don't care what I get in the future life, because it is not I who will get the results of the karma I do here. We cannot say that, because we are not totally different, totally new, as well as not totally identical persons. So in this way we explain the rebirth without the permanent soul. So the doctrine of karma and doctrine of rebirth depend upon each other, or they are supplementary. If you believe in the doctrine of karma, you believe in the doctrine of rebirth. If you don't believe in the doctrine of karma, you may not believe in rebirth. And Buddhists and also Hindus believe in this. So not everything can be explained with reference to karma, although many things can be explained through karma, because there are other forces than karma operating in the world, the seasonal or climatic forces, and then the order of consciousness. These also operate in the world. So karma, although we can not explain everything with reference to karma, many things can be. So whatever we get in the world, good or bad, is the result of the past karma. But our reactions to the situation is not the result of the karma. They are karma. When we respond to the situation, we are acquiring fresh karma. And so there's karma in effect. And basically there are two kinds of karma: good karma and bad karma, wholesome karma and unwholesome, kusala karma and akusala. Kusala karma brings good results and akusala karma brings bad results. So if we do not want to have bad results, we avoid doing akusala. And if we want to have good results, we do kusala. That is the teaching of the Buddha in a nutshell. Not to do any evil, to do what is good,